So today we are training one of the core pillars of consistency. This is one of the defining skills of an aware operator. Emotional regulation during execution. Staying who you said you would be even when the circumstances change. This skill influences every area of your business and every area of your life. This is centered on the core principle of our community. Identity leads, everything else follows, as within, so without. But most entrepreneurs, they lose their consistency because they reverse this order. They let the circumstances, or the emotional weather, as I call it, shape their identity. And that identity then drives their behavior. They bring earth to heaven instead of bringing heaven to earth, which is the opposite of the order of operation. So our work here is to hold the identity steady even whilst the circumstances or the weather moves in and out. That is the meaning of being unshakable, being unmoved by the external world and deliberately selecting your internal state. So let me walk you through how this might work in real time. So let's say a circumstance occurs, right? It could be a delay, it could be a rejection, it could be a message, anything that triggers you. Something in the business is on fire and your body produces an emotional response. So your neurotransmitters fire, your perception shifts, and the system generates an emotion. Now, this can happen also when you are drifting in your thinking, when your unconscious thinking is about what's wrong or a perceived problem, something about the future or the past, anything that produces an emotional reaction. This could be frustration, pressure, anxiety, even irritation, right? The natural instinct is to let that emotional state define the meaning of the moment, the lens through which you're experiencing your reality. And this is where something very dangerous can happen. And this is what I call emotional fusion, right? Where the body goes from I am experiencing anxiety to I am anxious. That right there is the danger zone. Because once that fusion happens, the awareness gets pulled into the moment. You zoom into the character and start looking out through a very limited perspective, and the behavior always follows. So to recognize yourself as the operator, right, the operant power of your life experience, there is a protocol I've developed. I've put it in the thread today. It's a simple 4-step sequence that will allow you to recenter yourself within about 60 seconds. So let me talk you through it. Step number 1, notice and breathe. The first step before anything else can happen is to become aware. So the moment we experience the emotion, the first step is to separate ourselves from it, to say, emotional weather is here. I am experiencing frustration or anger, but I am not angry. This puts space between you and it. You are the sky. This is a cloud in the sky. You can observe it. Then we breathe. We bring the body back to a safe, calm state. This is a signal to the nervous system that we're not in danger, and it will dissolve the physiological contraction that normally drives that reactive behavior, right? That inward protection. Once we're calm, step 2 is to allow the emotion to be there fully. This is a bit counterintuitive, but we're not fighting the emotion, we're not analyzing it, and we're not trying to fix it. You allow the emotional chain to run through the body without letting it change your awareness. This allows it to dissipate, usually within about 90 seconds. Then you remain in the chosen identity rather than submitting to the reactive tendencies. Step number 3, re-anchor yourself deliberately into your chosen identity. So I encourage you to have your calibration statement for the day somewhere you can see it. Write it out by hand. I am your identity. Because I am, therefore I will. Your chosen input for the day. This pulls you back into the causal layer of the behavioral loop. Remember, identity is the selector. Identity is cause. You are cause. We always return back to cause. Step number 4, express the identity through one tiny binary action. Now, we don't take the action to change the emotion. We're not trying to change the emotion. We take the action to confirm the identity. Evidence stabilizes identity. Identity then goes on to instruct behavior, and behavior produces results and evidence. That's the mechanism. So this is how you hold your identity stable under pressure. You realize that circumstances don't define who I am. Identity first. Let the emotional weather be here. We're not trying to fight against it. We hold the state of awareness, and then we take an action that expresses who we are. That's the full operation loop for this particular rhythm. So that is your practice for today. The next time emotional weather rolls in, you now have a practical that you can deploy and recenter to your ideal identity within 60 to 90 seconds. So go ahead and fill in today's calibration, who you are being, what one congruent binary input will you take, and then add one line of integration, what it means for you. And then I want you to mirror and reinforce as many other members as possible so that we stabilize the identity across the entire community, no matter what weather shows up today. So with that said, my friends, remember, you are the operant power. No circumstance, no emotion has any authority over you unless granted from above. So you maintain your awareness, and I will see you tomorrow.